Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to make a DIY Dollar Tree lighted Christmas art. We're going to be using a 11 by 14 picture frame. This one has a silver frame. This gift bag, or a gift bag with stars on it. And I like these yellow lights because stars aren't actually white. They just seem white. They're actually yellow like our sun. So the first thing I want to do is you want to unwrap your frame, and depending on your frame that you get from your factory, you're probably going to want to wash the glass. I'm not going to show you me washing the glass, but, wipe down any dust or fingerprints. All right. And if you've never opened a glass, I mean, this is going to sound silly, but I'll tell you, if you've never used picture frame from the Dollar Tree for anything, they have these very pliable metal tabs that hold the glass in. And then you want to peel back the tabs so that they stand straight up and remove the glass and the backing. And now that I'm taking the glass out and I'm putting it on the bag, and I'm using it to decide which part of this bag or which part of the art, whatever you use, you want to be in the picture. Now just remember that the frame will take up about 1/4 of an inch around the edge. So you don't want to go right up to the edge of the words because you'll cut the bottom of the words off. Just to show you here, see, it's about 1/4 of an inch overhang. Okay, and then once I've done that, I've traced around with a pencil. And then we're going to cut it out on the pencil line, okay? And again, this is one of those projects that is great to do with your kids, other than handling the edges of the raw glass, which I guess you could do. Any kid who can cut a straight line, use a scissor, trace a straight line even, just be careful of the glass. This would be a great project for them. We're not going to use glue. We're only going to use Scotch tape, which, by the way, I didn't tell you you needed Scotch tape in the beginning, so I apologize. You'll see it's very family friendly. If you saw from the picture, I already have lights in the batteries in the lights. You always want to test them before you do any project like this, because the worst thing is to get it all lined up and then find out they don't work. And if for some reason you don't cut a straight line or whatever, you just trim around to make sure it fits flat as possible. And actually, I didn't realize it until I done framing it and done taping it and everything, that the corner is a little off. So the corner does pucker on this. So I fixed it after I took all the pictures. It was really when I was putting this video together that I noticed that that was a problem. I couldn't see it under the lights in the kitchen when I was photographing the picture. I could only notice it when I was going to edit all the pictures. So you just want to make sure it lays flat in there. And then the lighting part is, again, your personal preference of your art, depending on what you pick for a picture. I, as you guys know, fell in love with these gift bags that I did not find in the Christmas section. They were actually with the gift bags when I stepped outside of the bathroom at the St. Robert Dollar Tree. I think it was St. Robert. It might have been Cuba, but I think it was the St. Robert Dollar Tree. And I just fell in love with them. And I have this one, a wise man, and then Jesus in a manger. But this one I thought would really lend to this project. Okay. So this project is with these lights that they have. They're battery operated lights, and they're in the Christmas section. They're seasonal. They also were available at other times of the year, so you may actually have some. You can do them with white lights. You can do them with any color lights you want, depending on your picture and preference, of course. I just know, like in my brain, stars are yellow, like the sun. They don't really shine true white, so I thought that the yellow would add a warmness. So I picked the yellow lights. And what I'm doing is I'm back and forth. I'm flipping it back and over. And I'm finding where I want the lights to go. Now, keep in mind, there is only about 4 inches between each light bulb. So you want to try to go around your picture in a circular pattern. The first one I was sure I wanted to do, the one that I was sure I wanted to do was I wanted to make sure that I had 2 lights on the North Star. And I don't really know that it's the North Star, but it's the biggest star in the picture. So I wanted to make sure it had 2 lights on it so it was extra bright. So I kept that in mind as I started, and I placed in my brain, I laid out in my head where I wanted the stars to go. And you want to make sure that that the lights will come out somewhere, and where that comes out is not as important. necessarily, but if it can end on one of the side frames, it does make it that much easier. Okay, and really all I'm doing is I'm taking a piece of scotch tape or yellow, or what do they call it, invisible tape, and I'm putting it across the flat side of these lights, and I'm just flipping it over, lining where I want the light up, and then sticking the tape. It is really that simple. That's why I said this is a great project to do with your kids or grandkids. All right. And then you're just going to go around, and this picture was perfect. The way that this picture was cut out too was the perfect number of lights. I was at the end of all the stars, left over with two, and I was thinking I wanted to put one in the church, but then when I was left over with two, I was like, perfect, one can go in each of the lower windows. Mom thought that one would have looked really nice in the upper window where the bell tower is, but of course I didn't have any lights left. All right, and then just rearrange. When I went to go do this, there was just not enough cord between the last star and the church, so I just had to move it over and do a little rearranging just so that they would all line up and I'd have enough room. And that was just a matter of placing the light bulb in a different direction. And when all was said and done, this project cost $2.50. It's $1 for the frame, $1 for the lights, and if you do more than one, you're going to get two images from one shopping bag. So that's where the 50 cents comes in. And that's not including the price of the tape and not including the price of having a scissor. We just assume everybody has a scissor and some scotch tape. But if you had to buy scotch tape, you could do that, and that would be 3 for $1, I think, at that Dollar Tree. So add that 30 cents. So what I use actually is the pop-up tape from 3M's pop-up tape. It's my favorite ever. It's like my favorite invention ever, especially if we had such a big family. I used to wrap tons of presents on Christmas Eve, and I was just like a tape crazy person, and it makes life just so much simpler. So here I am, I'm just, like I said, renegotiating where the lights are and moving it around so it could accommodate going in those windows just right. And I also did it, just to remind you, I also put two lights in the North Star. I made them so that they were touching, and one was shining down and one was shining up. I thought that would made it look real pretty. I was at a luncheon on Tuesday, and they had a lady come from a shop in St. Charles, Missouri, and she had the most gorgeous pictures like this, and I was like, that is something I could totally do. And then when I jumped on to Facebook to post the pictures of me and Aunt Sue, I got distracted because this Dollar Tree group of crafters, of creators, actually had women doing this, and then they had discussed the ways that they did it. So thank you, women from Facebook's Dollar Tree craft group, and thank you to April from April's on Maine for inspiring me to do this for you guys. When I bought these gift bags, I had no idea I was going to do this. When I bought this picture frame, I had no idea I was going to do this. So what I've done is I've just taped down any wires you think you might need to. The back doesn't lay flat, obviously, because it's got wires in it. But there is definitely enough play in those clips for you to hold the frame down. So once I've done that, I've drawn, if you could see right there, hold on, let me zoom in. I cut a little slit right there for the wire to come through. It's just where my wire ended, and I wanted to make sure that I was able to get it through to the back without too much trouble. And the picture frame holds fine if you cut a little slit in it or put a little hole in it, whatever you need to do. All right, and then I just took some hot glue, and you want to make sure when you glue this to the back, there's a few things you need to decide first. Where is the switch going to be easily accessed? I made my switch facing outward. How are you going to hang this? Are you going to hang it on the wall, or are you going to put it on a stand? I decided I was putting it on a stand. And finally, make sure you put it where the screw is still accessible in case you need to change the batteries. Unless you're planning on throwing this out once the batteries die, which I doubt. Okay? So now that I have all that worked out, I throw some hot glue on the area, all over the back, and I'm putting it up in the corner because I did look at my stand, and my stand will accommodate the battery pack fine. And there it is. I love this. This is what it looks like without the lights. And I reach around the side, flick the switch, and voila. And here's what it looks like with the lights. Do you see the double lights on the North Star? I just think it's so precious. And my reflection. I also was thinking maybe we can enhance the frame. This is a star ornament. These are the tree ornaments that we used in the mason jars. And I thought it really emulated the tree that was on there. You see that? And I thought you could always add stuff to the glass. I was thinking maybe that tree or a mini wreath or even the cross on the top of the church. So that's it, everybody. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. I really hope you liked this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. Share with friends and family, anybody you know who'd be interested in making one of these beautiful pieces of artwork, super simple, with their family. And if you haven't yet, click subscribe, and when you do, a little bell will pop up. When you ring that bell, YouTube will let you know whenever I upload a new video. And as always, from the bottom of my heart, you know I mean it. Take care. God bless. We'll see you next time. Merry Christmas. Bye.